Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of The Engine Light. Today, straightforward, how to change your oil. Alright, we're going to use Olivia's 2016 Honda Fit. I'm going to do my best not to show you my butt crack during this whole procedure. Let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to have to jack it up. Watch my light board, Livy, or my whiteboard. She's helping me out today. I'm going to have to jack this car up because it's pretty low for me and I can't get underneath it. But the one thing to be aware of is, that's an oil pan, okay? There's a drain plug down here. If I lift it up or it's sitting level, this is your oil. If I lift it up, right, perfect. Because the oil's going to slosh, I'll still be able to drain it. But let's say, oh, it's still frozen because of the temperature here. Let's say your drain plug is in the front, okay? This is your oil. And if I lift it up, all your oil is going to be back here. You won't be able to drain it. So be aware of how you're draining these things, okay? If you go up on maintenance ramps. Okay, now, tip number 2. So before you get started, make sure you have the supplies you need. This car needs 0W20. Alright, and keep the cap off. Put it where the hood latch goes. That way you can't close the hood without putting the filler cap back on. Other thing is, have a look at it before you get started. Oh, it's pretty low. Pretty low on the stick and it smells of gas. So definitely needs to be changed. There. Okay. Here's your engine oil drain plug. Your engine, right? Transmission's over here. Don't confuse the two. Make sure you're on the engine. Now, you can also tell because there's an oil filter here. Alright, righty tighty, lefty loosey. So think about that for a second before you go and hammer on it. You want to loosen this thing. So which way do you have to go? Oh, that's on there tight. Whoop. Wow, they put that on there good. Okay. Oh, there we go. Holy majoli. Just, they don't have to be that tight. That's an excited lube tech right there. Okay. Now, sometimes you see this gasket. I don't know if you can see it. I'll show it to you when I pull this thing out. I'm spinning it till it's real loose so I can do that. And look at that. My fingers are clean on my first rodeo. So there's a new washer right here. A lot of times you need to change that. I didn't buy one, so I'm just going to reuse it. How does the oil look? Let's have a little sniff test. There it is. Doesn't smell bad. Not too gassy. Uh-oh. You know what I forgot to do though? Open the drain feature. The plug's in my bucket, so it's just filling up. I'm gonna have to stick my hand in there anyway. Whoops. Whoops. Okay, we'll let this drain till it's almost done. Well, I'm gonna have to stick my hand in there. Where is it? It's right there. Oh, gross.
Well, that drained really quickly.
Yeah, but there's like a sink drain in here. Oh, I gotta open the plug. Now my hand's full of oil.
Yummy! And grab some towels.
There it goes. See them right there?
There they are.
You just peel me off one or two. And your oil filter should be right there as well. Now normally, well, I'm cleaning my hands off. Normally there's a plastic shield that's underneath this. But we went to a not to be named oil changing company a few years ago. And they didn't put it on properly. So when Olivia was driving actually up to, I think it was Sudbury, it fell off on one side. So she was stuck driving down the highway with this thing half installed because somebody didn't do their job properly.
It was funny.
Do you have the other oil filter? Do you see it? Right there. It's a blue thing right next to the cleaner spray. Left.
This it?
Yeah. Thanks.
Yoink.
Alright, again, I'm going with my Delco brand. I have a Honda one on there. But you're going to see that, well, they look pretty much the same, don't they? So in this case, an AC Delco 2057 is the size. I could let that drain for another 7 hours. Oh, nuts.
No,
I just cleaned my hands off too.
Good thing you got another piece of paper towel. Right there.
Okay, let's plug that back up. So we could be here a long time because it is still kind of cold today. I mean, I'm going to say it feels warm, but it's only 1 or 2 degrees above freezing.
It's pretty freaking cold.
But to me right now, after being 15 degrees below freezing, feels pretty good. So you saw how tight that was when I took it off. There we go. Boom. That's it. That's all we need. Doesn't need to be wrenched for life. We'll wipe its nose. Okay, yeah, cleanliness is. Yeah.
Got a runny nose.
And move your drain pan over. Grab your filter. You should be able to take it off by hand. But of course, everything that this dealer did, put it on way too tight.
You think?
Yeah. I have a filter wrench. Look at that. Made specifically to grab oil filters. Holy crike. Dudes, if you fancy yourself an apprentice or a pro oil changer here, way too tight, fellas. So again, lubricate up that O-ring, that seal, otherwise it'll bake to the block. When you take your old filter off, make sure it came with it. Otherwise you'll have what's known as a double gasket, and it's gonna leak like a sieve. We'll let some of that extra lube drain out of there. Alright, not good enough. I've never been that patient. You could let that go longer, but I guarantee you your local shop's not. Okay. Okay, it's on tight, plus a quarter. There we go. That is good enough. Don't forget to wipe the nose. Now your dirty oil, don't put it down the drain or the sewer. Recycle it appropriately. Bring it back to, contact your local part supplier or local garage. See if they take used motor oil. Even if they charge you, don't pour it down the sewer. I think 1 liter of dirty motor oil destroys 10,000 liters of fresh water.
That's a lot of water.
Okay, now that we're done, let's move to the top.
Rolling. We'll do a little transition.
Slowly lower each side. There we go. Down. Go real slow. Okay, so I was lucky that I had it up on jacks and safety stands. Remember, never get under a car that's not on safety stands, because if your jack is weak and lets go, you're a pancake. Okay, so make sure the safety stands are there, and I usually just leave the jack in case it does fall on me. Then the fire department they don't have to work hard, they can just jack it up real quick and get my squished and lifeless body out from underneath it. But what you have to make sure is, I had it jacked up, but the drain plug still allowed the oil to drain out of it. Okay, be aware of that one. Okay, let's put our oil back in it. No. So this is a coolant funnel. I can't find my oil one, but I'll clean it up after we're done. And again,
She's pretty.
not sponsored. I just like this oil, but the main thing to make sure is it's 0W20, which is what the car wants. Okay, so put in that. What does it mean? Well, 0W stands for winter. So when it's really cold, it still flows. The other number, the 20, is its viscosity when it's hot. So 0 winter, 0 when it's cold, 20 when it's hot. Right? My truck, my last oil change was 30. 5W30. Right? There's different viscosities. Now, it doesn't take the whole jug. You need to be aware of how much you're putting in, and I think this car takes about somewhere around 4, but we'll double check it. Now look at the nice color of that compared to what drained out. Looks a bit like a nice beer, doesn't it?
Glug, 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 glug.
I think that's going in. We'll make sure. Yep. Oh, we'll fill this up.
Dehydrated.
Yeah, it's thirsty.
Thirsty boy! Yee doggy!
It's thirsty. Don't mind Livy. She likes to get excited. Okay, now we're going to check the level before we go much further. Let that drain in. And all over the floor, actually. Here. I'm going to put this somewhere. Put it right here. There we go.
It has a hat.
It's clean, so we might as well drain the clean stuff in. And we'll wipe this doodad off. We'll have a look, see if we've put in enough before we even started. Oh, it needs a little bit more. It's close. It's at the 3/4 mark. So the filter's not been filled. So when we start it, the filter's going to absorb some oil. So it's going to go down there. So I'm going to bring it up till it's at the full mark before starting it. Then, after it starts, it'll go down to where it is now. Right? I'd rather be a bit low than high. High is when you blow out your seals. Yeah, you don't want to be too low, but there's enough in there. Engines actually don't need that. Well, they need oil for lubrication, but mostly they use it for cooling at this point. So how do you cool the underside of your piston or your connecting rods? It's not your antifreeze that does it. It's your oil that does it. That's why we need as much as we do. Okay, that should be good to at least start this thing. Alrighty. Okay, Olivia's gonna go start this car up. She's been very helpful holding onto the camera today.
Start your engines. You ready?
Yep. You hear that noise, eh? Okay. You can shut it off, yep. Did you hear that noise?
Yeah.
What that noise is...
It sounded like little screams.
Yeah, well, there's no oil in the upper end where all the valve train lives. So this is an overhead camshaft engine. So oil has to get pumped. The filter needs to get filled. From the filter, then it needs to go to the crankshaft. Crankshaft to the camshaft, and everything after that, okay? So you're gonna get some noise. You're supposed to check your oil after 10 minutes of sitting. I am a little rushed because I've done well over 6,000, 7,000 oil changes. I know where it's going to be in 10 minutes. That's perfect. I don't know if you can see it. It's about, I don't know, 4 millimeters down from the full mark. So in 10 minutes, it's going to be right at the full mark as it drains back. So this is perfect level.
Beauty.
Let's close that up. Now, one more thing we need to do. We need to reset the change your oil light. Now, let me show you how to reset the service engine soon light. So this little knob right here, this is awkward.
Okay.
I'm going to press and hold it until it resets. About 10 seconds. 3, 4. There we go. Now we hold it again. It's blinking, so now we hold it for another 10. Or something like that. There we go. So let's hold it for 10 till it flashes, hold it for 5. If you're uncertain, you know what you can check? Your manual. Okay, you can check your service manual.
It'll fit.
All right. So you see your trip meters on? You want to remind yourself? Reset your trip meter. There we go. So, perfect. Thanks for watching. Tune in next week for some more maintenance. At the same time, I reset the oil life meter. You can let the vehicle do your thing, or if you prefer the 3-month 5,000, write the date on the filter with a marker, and reset your trip meter like I just did. All right, see you next week.